Hi guys, good day, it's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is we're going to find the first four terms given the rule or the nth term of the following sequence. So without further ado, let's do this topic. So I will give you 5 examples class for you to really understand this one. And we'll be answering this one class step by step. Now to answer this one class, to find the first four terms, we need to use n class, and n is the position. Once again class, n is the position of the terms. So n, we have first term, we have second term, third term, and then fourth term. Once again class, n is the number of terms, n is the position. Example number 1 class, if we say a sub n equals n plus 5, to get the first term class, once again class, to get the first term, simply substitute the value of n. Once again class, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the position of terms. This is first term, second term, third term, and then fourth term. So to get the first term, simply substitute the value of n, that would be 1. So from this given equation, so a sub n, that would be our first term. So a sub 1, once again class, n is the number of terms, so n is the position. So a sub n or a sub 1 or our first term is equal to n, that would be 1. So simply substitute the value of n, that would be 1. So 1 plus 5. So a sub n or a sub 1 or the first term is equal to 1 plus 5 class. What's the answer class? That's correct, that would be 6, right? So therefore class, our first term with regards to this given equation, n plus 5, our first term class is 6. Simple as that class. Simply substitute the value of n. So our first term, that would be 6. So this is 6 for our first term. Alright, and then our second term, so simply substitute the value of n, that would be 2. So a sub n equals n plus 5. So a sub 2, our n is 2, equals our n is 2. So 2 plus 5. Therefore, class, our second term, so a sub 2, 2 plus 5, that would be equal to 7. So therefore, class, our second term, that would be 7. That's it, class. Easy as that, class, with regards to example number 1. Alright, so a sub n, and then n is 3. So a sub n equals n plus 5. If n is 3, so a sub 3. Once again, class, n is 3. So simply substitute the value of n, that would be 3. So 3 plus 5, so a sub 3, so 3 plus 5, that would be equal to 8. So therefore, our third term is 8. Simple as that, class. I hope you're not confused, class. Once again, class, n is the position or the number of terms. So n, we have first term, second term, third term, and then fourth term. So therefore, class, we already have the idea that our fourth term, it should be 9, right? 6 plus 1, we'll be adding 1, right? The common difference is 1. So 6 plus 1, that would be 7. 7 plus 1, that would be 8. 8 plus 1, therefore, class, the fourth term, it should be 9. Alright, let's check that. Fourth term, a sub n equals n plus 5. So a sub 4, our fourth term, our n is 4. So 4 plus 5. What's the answer, class? A sub 4 or the fourth term, 4 plus 5, that would be 9. Yup, this is 9. That's it, class. So therefore, class, that's the sequence, class. All set. The first four terms. With regards to number 1, we have 6, 7, 8, and then 9. All set, class. All set. This is the answer, class, with regards to example number 1. Easy as that, class. All set. Alright, so let's proceed now to example number 2. So let me just erase this one. Alright, so let's start with example number 2. So once again, we are told to find the first four terms. So this will be our guide. So first term, second term, third term, and then fourth term. So simply substitute the value of n in this given equation. So a sub n equals negative 2n plus 8. Alright, so this will be a sub n. So our n is 1. So our first term is equal to negative 2. Our n is 1, so negative 2 times 1. Once again, class, if you have 2n, negative 2 times n, it means multiplication. If the number is close to the variable, close to each other, it means multiplication. So negative 2 times 1, so n is 1 plus 8. Alright, so first term is equal to negative 2 times 1, that would be negative 2. Negative times positive, that would be negative 2 times 1 is 2. So negative 2 times 1, that would be negative 2. Copy positive 8. What would be the answer, class? Negative 2 plus 8. Unlike sign, subtract. 8 minus 2 is 6. Now 8 is greater than 2. We copy the sign of 8. That would be positive 6. So therefore, our first term, that would be positive 6. That's it, class. First term is positive 6. Alright, and then our second term, simply substitute the value of n. So a sub n equals, given equation, negative 2n plus 8. So a sub 2, our n is 2, second term. So negative 2 times, our n is 2, negative 2 times 2 plus 8. So a sub 2 equals negative 2 times 2, that would be negative 4 plus 8. So a sub 2 equals negative 4 plus 8. What's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be positive 4. Unlike sign, subtract, 8 minus 4 is 4. Now 8 is greater than 4, we copy the sign of 8. That would be positive 4. Alright, so this is positive 4. So as you can see, class, we subtract 2, right? The common difference is 2. So 6 minus 2, this will be 4. And then 4 minus 2, this will be 2. And then 2 minus 2, this will be 0. So already have the idea, class, that our answer, that would be 6, 4, 2, and then 0. But let's check, class. Let's have our solution to really check if we have 2 and then 0. For the third term, that would be 2. And then for the fourth term, that would be 0. Alright, so let's do that. Let's check. A sub n equals negative 2n plus 8. So our third term, once again, our third term, so a sub 3 equals negative 2 times n is 3. So once again, class, n is 3. Let's check if we get 2. So plus 8. So a sub 3 equals negative 2 times 3. That would be negative 6 plus 8. What's the answer, class? Negative 6 plus 8. That's correct. That would be positive 2, right? 8 is greater than 6. We copy the sign of 8. Subtract, unlike signs. 8 minus 6 is 2. Now 8 is greater than 6. We copy the sign of 8. So a sub 3 is equal to positive 2. Yup, we get the same answer, class. Positive 2. Alright, and then last one, a sub n equals negative 2n plus 8. A sub 4, our fourth term. If n is 4, let's check if we get 0. So this will be negative 2 times 4 plus 8. A sub 4 equals negative 2 times 4. That would be negative 8 plus 8. What's the answer, class? That's correct. That would be 0. So a sub 4 is equal to 0. Yup. Yep, we get the same answer, class. So therefore, class, our answer we have, for number 2, our answer we have 6, we have 4, we have 2, and then 0. That's it, class. All set. This is the answer, class, with regards to example number 2. The first 4 terms, we have 6, 4, 2, and then 0. All set. Alright, so let's proceed now to example number 3. Alright, so example number 3, our given, we have a sub n equals 5n plus 2. So substitute the value of n, that would be 1. So a sub 1, our first term, that would be 5 times 1 plus 2. So our first term is equal to 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2. What's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be 7. So a sub 1, that would be 7. Alright, so this is 7 for our first term. And then second term, so a sub n equals 5n plus 2. So a sub 2, our second term, is equal to 5 times, our n is 2. So 5 times 2 plus 2. So a sub 2 equals 5 plus 2. What's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be 10 plus 2. So a sub 2 equals 10 plus 2. What's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be equal to 12. Alright, so therefore our second term is 12. Alright, and then our third term, so a sub n equals 5n plus 2. So a sub 3, our third term, so 5 times, our n is 3. 5 times 3 plus 2. So a sub 3 equals 5 times 3. What's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be 15 plus 2. So a sub 3, that would be 17. Alright, so this is 17. So as you can see, class, we are adding 5, right? 7 plus 5, the common difference is 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. Therefore, the next number, it should be 22, right? 17 plus 5, that would be 22. Alright, but let's double check, class. So a sub n equals 5n plus 2. So our fourth term is 22. So a sub 4, n is 4. A sub 4, or our fourth term. So 5 times n is 4. 5 times 4 plus 2. A sub 4, 5 times 4, that would be 20 plus 2. a sub 4, that would be 22. Yep. So therefore, class, our answer, we have 7 for our first term. Second term is 12. Third term is 17. And then the fourth term, that would be 22. All set. This is the answer, class, with regards to example number 3. All set, class. Alright, so let's proceed now to example number 4. Alright, so example number 4, our given equation, we have a sub n equals 4 times 5 raised to the power of n minus 1. So simply substitute the value of n, that would be 1. So our first term, a sub 1, first term, 4 parenthesis 5 times our n is 1. So 1 minus 1. So this will be a sub 1, our first term. Once again, let's simply substitute the value of n, that would be 1. So a sub 1, a sub n, that would be a sub 1, first term, 4 times 5 raised to the power of 1 minus 1. What's the answer, class? 1 minus 1, that would be equal to 0. So this will be a sub 1 equals 4 times, once again, class, any number raised to the power of 0. The answer, class, is 1. Once again, class, any number raised to the power of 0. The answer is 1. Once again, class, do not multiply this one, class. 4 times 5 and then raised to the power of 0. Simplify this one first. Parentheses, exponents comes first. You always follow PEMDAS, class. Example, class, if I will say 2 times 3 raised to the power of 2, can we multiply 2 and 3? Nope, class, you can never multiply 2 and 3 first. It should be parentheses, exponents comes first. You always follow PEMDAS, class, or GEMDAS. So remember, class, GEMDAS or PEMDAS, you have this one, class, during your grade 7. For GEMDAS, groupings, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. GEMDAS, or you can have GEDMAS. Once again, class, groupings, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. For PEMDAS, this remember, class, PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So therefore, class, parentheses, exponents comes first. You simplify this one first. Do not multiply 2 and 3. Simplify this one first. So copy 2. 3 squared, it doesn't mean 3 times 2. It means you multiply 3 by itself twice. This is 3 times 3. Once again, class, this is not 3 times 2. It means 3 times 3. 3 times 3, that would be equal to 9. So this will be 2 times 9, that would be 18. This is the answer, class. Once again, class, do not multiply 2 and 3. It should be 3 squared comes first. So 3 times 3, that would be 9. And then 9 times 2, that would be 18. So therefore, class, do not multiply 4 and 5. It should be parentheses, exponents comes first. You simplify this one first. So copy 4. And then 5 raised to the power of 0, that would be equal to 1. Once again, class, any number, any expression raised to the power of 0, the answer is 1. Example, 5 raised to the power of 0, that's correct, that would be 1. X raised to the power of 0, what's the answer? That's correct, that would be 1. X plus y raised to the power of 0, what's the answer, class? That's correct, that would be equal to 1. Any number, any variable, any expression raised to the power of 0, the answer, class, is 1. That's automatic, class, in algebra. Any number, any variable, any expression raised to the power of 0, the answer is 1. Alright, so this will be 4 times 5 raised to the power of 0, that would be 1. 4 times 1, that would be equal to 4. So 4 times 1, a sub 1, that would be equal to 4. So therefore, our first term, that would be 4. Alright, and then our second term, so a sub n equals 4 times, copy this one, 5, and then n minus 1. So a sub 2, second term, 4 times 5. And then 2 minus 1, simply substitute the value of n, that would be 2, 2 minus 1. So a sub 2 equals 4 times 5 raised to the power of 2 minus 1, that would be 1. So a sub 2 equals, copy 4, simplify this one first. 5 raised to the power of 1, the answer, class, is 5. Simply copy 5. Once again, class, any number raised to the power of 1, simply copy. X raised to the power of 1 is just the same with x. 5 raised to the power of 1 is just the same with 5. Simply copy 5. So 4 times 5. So a sub 2, that would be equal to 20. Alright, so 4 times 5, that would be 20. So therefore, class, the next number, second term, that would be 20. Alright, and then the third term, we don't have enough space, class. So let me just erase number 1 and then number 2, class. This example, class, first term and then second term. So you pause the video, class. I'll be erasing this one. We don't have enough space, class. I'm so sorry for this one, class. We don't have enough space. You pause the video, class. I'll be erasing this one. Alright, so third term, a sub n equals, copy this one, 4 times 5 n minus 1. So a sub 3, the third term, 4 times 5, n is 3, so 3 minus 1. So a sub 3, the third term, so 4 times 5 raised to the power of 3 minus 1, that would be 2. So a sub 3 equals 4 times, once again, let's simplify this one, 5 squared. It doesn't mean 5 times 2, it means 5 times 5. 5 times 5, that would be 25. So this will be 4 times 25, a sub 3, that would be equal to, what's the answer, class? 4 times 25. That's correct, that would be equal to 100. Okay, so this is 100. So therefore, class, as you can see, what would be the thing that we need to do to 4 to get it 20? To get 20, we multiply it by 5, right? 4 times 5, that would be 20. 20 times 5, that would be 100. 100 times 5, therefore, class, the fourth term, it should be 500. 100 times 5, it should be 500. Alright, let's check if our fourth term is really 500. Let's check, class, if our fourth term is really 500. Alright, let's do that. A sub n equals 4 times 5 n minus 1. So a sub 4, fourth term, so 4 times 5 and then 4 minus 1. So a sub 4 equals 4 times 5. Once again, class, simply substitute, class, the value of n, that would be 4, fourth term. 4 minus 1, that would be 3. So a sub 4 equals 4 times 5 raised to the power of 3. It means you multiply 5 by itself 3 times. 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5, that would be 125. So this is 4 times 125. Alright, and then 4 times 125, I think that's 500, right? Because 2 times 125, if you have 2 125, that would be 250, right? 125 plus 125, that would be 250. And then if you have another 2 and then 125, so we already have 4 125, of course, this is 2 times 125, that would be 250. 250 plus 250, that would be 500, right? I hope it's clear for you, class. Once again, class, 4 times 125, 125 plus 125, that would be 250, and another 250, so 250, that would be 500, right? 4 times 125, that would be equal to 500. I hope it's clear for you, class. 4 times 125, that would be equal to 500. Yep, we get the right answer. So therefore, our four terms, we have 4, we have 20, we have 100, and then 500. All set. All set, class. This is the answer, class, with regards to example number 4. All set. Alright, so let's proceed now to our last example, example number 5. Alright, so we're down to the last example, class, example number 5. So our given, we have a sub n equals 2 and then negative 3 n minus 1. So substitute the value of n. So our first term, a sub 1, our first term, 2 parenthesis minus 3, close parenthesis, and then our n is 1. So 1 minus 1. So this will be first term, a sub 1 equals 2 and then negative 3. 1 minus 1, that would be equal to 0. So a sub 1, our first term, copy 2. Negative 3 raised to the power of 0. Any number raised to the power of 0, the answer is 1. So this will be 2 times 1. So a sub 1 is equals to 2. Alright, so our first answer, that would be 2. And then our second term, so a sub n equals 2. Copy negative 3 n minus 1. So a sub 2, our second term, so 2 times negative 3 and then 2 minus 1. So a sub 2 equals 2 times, copy negative 3 and then 2 minus 1, that would be equal to 1. So a sub 2 equals 2 negative 3 raised to the power, once again, because do not multiply this one, simplify this one first. Negative 3 raised to the power of 1, simply copy negative 3. So this will be negative 3, copy. So this will be 2 times negative 3. So a sub 2, that would be negative 6. So this is negative 6. Alright, so let's check the third term. Alright, so this will be, you paused the video, class, a while ago. We don't have enough space, class. You paused the video. So let's have the third term. So this will be a sub n equals 2 times negative 3 n minus 1. So our third term, a sub 3 equals 2 multiplied by negative 3. N is 3, so 3 minus 1. So a sub 3 equals 2 multiplied by negative 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. A sub 3 equals 2. And then simplify this one, negative 3 raised to the power of 2. It doesn't mean negative 3 times 2. It means negative 3 times negative 3. You multiply negative 3 by itself twice. Negative 3 times negative 3, that would be positive 9. So this will be 2 times 9. And then 2 times 9, that would be equal to 18. So this is 18. Therefore, class, the common ratio, that would be negative 3, right? Negative 6 divided by 2. So negative 6 divided 2, that would be negative 3. And let's do it reverse. Let's multiply 2 times negative 3. That would be negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 3. That would be positive 18. Negative times negative is positive. So positive 18 and then positive 18 times negative 3 times negative 3. So therefore, class, the answer, our fourth term, it should be negative 54. So this will be negative 54. Negative 3 times 18, that would be negative 54. Alright, let's check that, if this is really negative 54. Alright, so a sub n equals 2 times negative 3 raised to the power of n minus 1. So a sub 4 equals 2 times negative 3. N is 4. Simply substitute the value of n, that would be 4. 4 minus 1. So a sub 4 equals 2 times negative 3. 4 minus 1. That would be 3. So a sub 4 equals 2 times negative 3 raised to the power of 3. It means you multiply negative 3 by itself 3 times. Negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3, that would be positive 9. Positive 9 times negative 3, that would be negative 27. So this will be negative 27. Alright, and then this one, a sub 4 equals 2 times negative 27, that would be negative 54. Yup. We get the same answer, class. So therefore, class, our final answer with regards to example number 5, the first 4 terms, we have 2. We have negative 6. We have 18. We have negative 54. All set. All set, class. This is the answer, class, with regards to example number 5. Alright, so how about you try this one, class? And then you put your answer on the comment section down below. Let me check, class, if you really understand our topic. So you try to answer this one, class, and then you put your answer, class, on the comment section down below. Alright, so once again, class, I hope you learned something new today. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.